In this video I'm going to be taking a ride on a Yamaha MT07, so you're going to just join me to kind of hear about my experiences and thoughts as I ride that bike. Unfortunately, despite using my Zoom H1 recorder and my Rode mic, still very muffled and things in the helmet, so I really do apologise about that. So the video isn't the best sound quality wise. I need to work on that, so please leave comments below if you've got any suggestions that will help me with that. Hopefully you can put up with some of the video. If not, I'm sorry, and I will try harder next time. Okay, so you join me on board the Yamaha MT07. Everything's started up and the show on the road. So it's been raining a little bit and the bike's only done 4 miles, so we'll be taking it easy. But yeah, so I was interested in the Yamaha XSR 700, but they don't have one of those demonstrators available, so I'm having a go on this, the MT07. It's exactly the same engine, 2-cylinder cross-plane setup, so you should have some good low down torque. Let's just see how it feels. Shut the old mask. I'm trying a slightly different mic setup. Got my Rode mic on the go this time, so I'm hoping that you'll be able to hear me a bit better than the last video I did. So I continue to learn. But yeah, so this is I'm considering a second bike, and there's a few things on my list, and the XSR 700 is one of them. So we'll see how we go. So the main differences between this bike and XSR 700 is obviously we've got this full digital dash, and it's kind of like a more sporty bike, which is very different to the XSR 700, but everything else is the same engine, same brakes, same suspension setup. It's a slightly different riding position, and also I need to get used to this riding position a little bit, because obviously my usual bike is the Indian Scout Bobber, so it's got forward foot controls, whereas these ones are kind of, I don't know what you call them, are they mid controls? And they're right below me. So it's just going to be a ride along impression really, see how we go. Again, their speed cameras, it's literally just been raining even though the sun's just come out shining. I've only got the bike for a short period of time. I'm also going to ride it back to my house, which is within the range allowed to travel, to see if I can actually accommodate 2 bikes in my garage. So it's a little bit, I don't know, it feels a little bit vibey actually, not like overly vibey. Until we get onto some smoother, but that's so good though. Yeah, it definitely pulls nicely. So I think that's, I'll put some specs up on the screen, but it's definitely kind of light, feels very flickable, especially compared to my my Bobber, much lighter weight bike. So obviously this is a middleweight kind of size bike. I can't remember what they call them now, like Street Warriors or something. But yeah, it feels good. The seating position is pretty comfortable. So you're going with. Yeah, it feels nice. The throttle response is good. There's what I like about the dash on here, we've got fuel indicator, we've got gear indicator, we've got speed, we've got revs. I think that's recommending what gear I should be in, not sure. There's no sport modes or anything, so the throttle is a cable throttle, so there's no different riding modes or anything. So I think you have to look at the MT09 or the XSR 900 for that. So I think it's 692 cc engine, develops about 72 horsepower or something, I think, which is quite a lot for, you know, a lightweight bike. And as you know, if you watch my channel, you know, I'm not an expert on motorbikes. This is just me kind of telling you what this feels like, because this is a bike that I think many people will get maybe as their first big bike, right? So when you've got your bigger license, you know, you decide to get onto something like this. So yeah, it's see how it goes. The gear change is nice and smooth. The throttle is a little bit snatchy. I'm not sure if that's because it's just so new. Actually, that's the miles. It's been had on 6 miles. Yeah, so it is proper fresh. And again, tyres are you know, a new engine. Everything's new. And I mean, it's not my bike. And if I do fall off or something, then there's £1,000 excess. So I'm going to be careful. But I'm not a racer on bikes anyway. The reason why I'm thinking about another bike, one is because the opportunity is there, and when I was buying my bobber, I looked at the XSR 700. Well, I didn't look at that until a bit later, actually, truth be told. But let's just go this way on the way out there. But the CBR 650, obviously MT07, I was aware of that. There's a few bikes in that kind of first big bike kind of range that people talk about. The controls are nice. It's got a nice purr to it. Obviously standard exhaust. I'm not sure how well you'll be able to pick up the exhaust on here, but it feels good. Yeah, it feels comfortable actually. It's quite an upright seating position. Obviously it's a naked bike, so there's nothing to block you from getting the full brunt of the wind, and that's part of the characteristic. You can buy those little visors that will help a little bit more. I still think these are bikes that you can use on the motorway, and maybe we'll have a little bash up the motorway on the way back if we've got time, kind of see how things go. But yeah, so far it feels good. I think this is the kind of bike that, you know, perfect for the commute if you're going to be doing commuting. But at the same time, you know, looking at other videos online, there's no reason why this bike can't do, you know, go on a tour around Europe or something. You can do it. You can get panniers and all that kind of stuff on the back. You know, that's not a problem. So you've got the flexibility with this bike, you know, to be able to use it. It's not just, oh, it's a beginner bike, you can't do anything else with it, which I think there's sometimes a bit the stigma when people kind of refer to these bikes as beginner bikes or something. The visibility of these mirrors is pretty bad really. I can't see a great deal behind me. I've really got to put a lot of effort in to be able to see. So I think that, again, that's common on a lot of these bikes. You want to consider some aftermarket mirrors or maybe some bar-end mirrors. I'm not sure bar-end mirrors really suit the style of this kind of bike, but you know, definitely give you more visibility. I'm just seeing a good bit of elbow right now. Just trying to see how smooth the throttle is. The brakes are good, a little bit snatchy, but good. You definitely feel that they're going to work. Oops, slight snatchy on the throttle there. A little bit too close to that lorry there for a minute, but let's try for overtaking it. Effortless, absolutely effortless. Can't see crap in the mirrors, of course, so shoulder checks are important. I'll set them up into 6, and we can go up to 70 on this particular road. Down to 40 now. Yeah, it feels alright. So again, the bike's new, but it felt safe, felt comfortable, and I've got a lot of confidence in that front brake. It's a twin disc front brake setup, so I think it helps to inspire the confidence a little bit. It's a very easy bike to ride. You feel, I think the way you're sat on top of it like this just enables you to, you know, have full confidence in manoeuvring it and yeah, it's good. I think I'll check when there's no one behind me. Let's try the back brake. Yeah, the back brake's alright. The back brakes on most bikes aren't that great, but yeah, it works. You can feel it stopping you, so it's not a problem. The clutch is really smooth. The gear change is really smooth on this bike. Personally, I'm not a mega fan of some of the Yamaha colour schemes. I'm not into orange wheels and all that. So if I was to get an MT07, they do a black and blue one, which I think has blue wheels, which isn't too bad. But as much as, you know, I don't want a load of black vehicles, they do an all black one, which looks pretty awesome. A nice stealthy bike. Yeah, it's good. It definitely feels, you know, that you've got good control over it. You don't, it's not imposing, which I guess is why people say, you know, these kind of bikes are good starter bikes. But again, I'm not a racer. You know, you don't need, I don't think you need, you know, 1200cc bikes or anything really. Not with this kind of weight. But different people want different things, so that's why we have different stuff like cars and stuff. Maybe it's because I'm still relatively new to biking. You know, all bikes are quick except for this one. Through the tunnel. It's, again, the exhaust is stand on this, but we'll see. Definitely has got a lot of pickup. I think these are the bikes that people say, you know, they're like wheelie bikes. I don't know if the traction control can be turned on or off. I'm not gonna mess with that. But again, I'm also not into wheelies. I might do one of those wheelie school things that I've read about, you know, one day. But yeah, typically not for me really. What we will do, and I'm probably going to make a tit of myself now, but we're going to pull over and we'll see kind of what this bike's like for turning. So if you're in the UK and you just passed your test, you would have had lots of practice doing your turns in the road, and so we'll see what this bike is like. I haven't done one for a while either, so let's just see what if the clutch is nice and smooth and helps facilitate this kind of stuff. Yeah, turning circle's not too bad actually. It's a little bit, the tank and does get in the way a little bit, but yeah, it turns alright. And I didn't make an idiot of myself. I do know what I'm doing. Yeah. I know, it's actually nice. It's definitely a different, very different ride to the bobber. Different style. This is the kind, like the bobber for me, they call it like a bar hopper or whatever. This is a bike that I feel like is easy. If you're going to go do 200 miles, I think, you know, this is a better bike for that thing. I'm not really into the big touring bikes and stuff. I don't think I'm going to be someone, I mean, I would like to do a bike trip around Europe or something at some point, but it's not something that, you know, I'm planning to do. None of my friends got motorbikes either, so it's not like, you know, unless that happened when we're older and got less child responsibilities going off on a European road trip. I haven't even done that in the car yet. Yeah, it feels nice. Running out, time's running away though. It's already been half an hour, but yeah, it feels good. And this panel is actually really clear to see. Even in the bright sun, you can see it really clearly. It's not colour, doesn't need to be. Again, there's nothing super fancy about this bike. It just does what you need it to do, and I like that. Less things to go wrong. I'm not sure about what Yamaha reliability is like. People say good things about Honda, but you know, they're not inspiring to ride, and or that kind of thing. But this feels good. This feels nice. We'll get onto a bit more open road in a minute. See what that feels like. Also pull over in a lay-by and have a quick little look around, see what we think. It's coronavirus time, but still lots of traffic again. I think everyone's decided that how close you want to be. Easy pull away on that little hill. It's just so light and usable. It's got a lot of low down grunt. You can really feel the front suspension working as you're pulling away there, which is nice. Again, I'm not sure what the top end is like, and we're not going to find that out. But, yeah, it's a nice bike. I'm making sure as much as possible not to go over 5,000 revs as well. There's a little thing pops up there about eco. That means I'm not riding like a complete hooligan. And I think maybe that's the thing about these kind of bikes is, you know, if you do have hooligan type tendencies, and I think we all do from time to time, it can do that. But also at other times, I'm going to pull in here. Oh, test those brakes. Yes. If you want to ride like a hooligan, you can, but you don't need to. So that's good. Right, let's make sure we're in neutral. The old side stand down. Look around. I'll give the exhaust a little blip so you can kind of hear it through the GoPro. Doesn't sound too bad, does it? So yeah, let me just switch to the iPhone camera. You can have a little look. Okay, so that's it. MT09. Again, I'm not a massive fan of this. I actually don't mind the colour scheme, it's the wheels. I don't like the colour of those wheels. If they were black or gold or something, they look pretty good. I would prefer an LED headlight, but it's just a standard halogen bulb. It's a nice looking bike. I think even the back doesn't look too bad as we get round there. I think most people will get a tail tidy on there or something, but it looks pretty good. Chain driven. But yeah, it's a nice looking bike. See there about the cross chain 2-cylinder engine. Everything seems pretty accessible. I don't think it'll be too difficult to you know, do oil changes and change exhaust and stuff. Water cooled. You probably want to get a radiator protector or something on there. You can see the nice and the dual discs on there and stuff. Probably want to remove those reflectors. But yeah, so standard stuff on the controls. Headlight flasher at the top there. High beam, low beam, horn. Not too bad. Indicators. To start it, you pull and hold on that. That's one thing that I think is probably a failure point. Water can get stuck in there or something, might not work probably. And your hazards and stuff there. And then obviously the screen controls. Different modes here. Trip settings. Miles per gallon. Average miles per gallon. Engine temperature, air temperature, mileage. So just a forward and backwards button there. Nothing too fancy. Seat. Again. Doesn't feel too bad. It's not too hard. Feels like it's got some sort of jelly stuff in there or something, but you know, pillion stuff on the back. It's got pillion pegs as standard. So yeah, it's good. So I'm going to jump back on, ride for a little more, tell you what I think about it, and yeah, let me know in the comments what you think about this bike as well. You got an MT07, perhaps you've had one, perhaps it's something you considered and you decided to get something else. I'll be interested in that. Yeah, I'm not in the rush. I'm probably also not looking to buy a brand new one. Again, not looking at MT07 anyway, but the XSR 700. The current things I'm thinking about, but again, I'm trying to spend not a lot of money. I'm probably not going to get a new one unless there's some amazing deal on. So XSR 700, I really like the 900 looks, and I like it's got better shocks and everything, but it's probably too much money. It's damn hot in here as well. So we've got that. The CB650R, that's the bike I like the most, if I'm honest with you. It's got pretty much everything. It's got that kind of sport cafe racer kind of style that I like. It's got LED headlight. It's got the better suspension setup and everything. It's a inline 4, so it sounds really nice, real smooth throttle. But this is smooth as well. It's not. It's a bit snatchy at the low end, but it sorts itself out. It's pretty good. So yeah, I like it. I do think this is a nice bike. Again, it does fill you with confidence. I just don't like the mirrors. You can't see anything in the mirrors. It pulls nicely though. It does pull nicely. The aerials there. So XSR 700, CB650R, Triumph Scrambler, Ducati Scrambler. They're starting to get more expensive, and again, it's not really the Scrambler I want. What I'm interested in is I want something that looks nice, and I want something that is different from the bobber. I'm going to keep the bobber. Just something that, you know, if I decide I want to kind of ride to London for some meeting, I might decide to take the bike, and I don't think I'm going to do that with the bobber. I think that that's a bike that, you know, I don't want to put a wind fairing on and other things like that to try and make it better, you know, on the motorway and stuff, because that bike isn't that enjoyable on the motorway, I'll be honest. Again, we will try this on the motorway on the way back and let you know what I think, but yeah, it's tricky. Look, I don't need another bike, but I do understand now why people have multiple bikes. It's again, maybe you want a sports bike, you know, so that's again, maybe you want, you know, the bobber cruiser type thing. Maybe you want, you know, an Africa Twin or something, because you want the what do you call it, like the adventure bike. Again, I don't want a big bike. I want a bike that is small, nimble, but, you know, can be it isn't super uncomfortable. And I think with a bike like this, or this type of size bike, you know, so the 650, 700 type size bike, that you know, I think you could put a wind deflector on there, and it's not going to ruin the styling. But I think, like for me, on my bobber, yeah, that's not what I want to do. So yeah, all personal preferences. And again, you may be watching this going, oh yeah, but, you know, you can change the suspension here. You know, you can put suspension covers on and fork covers, keep all the dust and grit and all that crap out to make things last longer and stuff. But I don't really want to do that. I mean, it's not that I'm not against modding things, but just like an example, if you can buy a brand new, what is the price I think now? I think a brand new XSR 700 is like £7 grand, right? And you buy a Honda CB650R for 6.5 at the moment. They got on deals. And again, apart from looks, so if we forget about looks, the Honda's a better bike, I think. It's got better suspension, better brakes, compared to the XSR 700. But again, slightly different styling. I do think the XSR 700 looks nicer, but then, you know, it's already more expensive, and I don't want to spend all the money on changing the shocks, or not. Even if I'm not interested in, you know, I'm not a hardcore racer, so I don't need a different suspension. But, you know, the inverse suspension does work better. I think it's easier to maintain, so you get less crap in there and stuff. Again, what's this assumption? Because I'm not an expert. I'm just sharing with you my thought process, you know, as we go through this. But it's a nice bike. I'm really enjoying it. I am really enjoying it. I've got 20 minutes, so I need to get back. So I'm going to turn around in a minute, and then assuming the battery doesn't die, we'll catch up maybe on the motorway if I can do a quick sprint up the motorway, and then yeah, if the video does cut out and I can't, it doesn't record whilst on the motorway, I will put a message at the bottom of the screen now telling you what I thought about it on the motorway. Like, so if you're sat at 70 for a few, I'll just do one junction. You know, what does that feel like? I can tell you on my bobber, it feels a bit frantic to me, but I feel already it's not so much the speed. It's like you can do 70 on my bobber, not on the motorway. It doesn't feel too bad. It's because I think it's because you're all open on the motorway and exposed, and you're getting buffeted from the wind everywhere. And yeah, this bike, this is so nimble. Yeah, I'm sure if you're watching this video, perhaps you decide to watch this video because you're interested in the MT07, which makes a lot of sense. Hopefully it's been a little bit helpful. You know, I think it feels pretty nice. One thing that I will mention, and I will try and get a bit of video footage, there are a few places where these bikes rust. So like on the back of the swing arm where the weld joint is, some of the connectors underneath. So they're things to keep hold of. If you buy one of these bikes, especially if you buy it new, but even if you get second hand, if it's hopefully been looked after, get that ACF 50 on those things, then it's not going to rust to hell and sort about. And yes, these things should be sorted out for warranty, but you don't want your bike, you know. Madness, absolute madness. I don't think I swore then. I tried to hold back, but yeah. So this, yeah, look after the bike like anything. You look after it, it's going to look after you. But yeah, I like it. It feels good. It does feel good, and it's just, it's basic. So you know, maintaining your own stuff, or if you're interested in maintaining your own bike, there's no place that you can start. And again, if you know, I've seen quite a few 2 years old, 3 years old, you know, pretty reasonable prices, and that's the kind of thing that I'll probably look at, I think. So, at least it wasn't me. Just dry the sweat off me a bit. Speed triple. Quite like those bikes as well. Right, so I turn around and looking at the time, I'm not going to have to go on the motorway. I'm not going to have time, I don't think. So what else can I think about this bike? Shut the visor. What else can I think about this bike? Well, the good news is the second bike of this size does fit in my garage, so that's good. I can still get around and everything, so it's not a problem. Obviously I think you just have to move one bike out of the way and stuff if you want to go out on one or the other, but no problem. Yeah, it is nice, and the cops are behind me again. Oh, they've gone somewhere else. It is nice and smooth. Again, it's a little bit. Is it a little bit? I'm just trying to decide if it's. I think the vibiness is just a characteristic of it, and maybe, you know, the grips are pretty thin. Because it's not an uncomfortable vibe. It's not kind of giving me, you know, my hands aren't going numb. Feels like, you know, you got good grip on the bike and everything. Yeah, it's a nice bike. Whew, it's hot. Let me just, if I just back off a little bit from this guy in front. So we're in 6. Yeah, he doesn't. He needs to be in a better gear for testing stuff, but it pulls. Does pull nicely. I think it's up to like 9,500 revs or something that it's got peak power, but I think peak torque is around 6.5. So again, the engine, it does feel hot. I mean, it is hot. So yeah, I can feel my right foot feels a little warm but I think that's to be expected somewhat. But yeah, it's nice. I like it. I think it's an engine that I would definitely consider. I still think, like anyone, you know, you need to test ride a few bikes. The biggest problem with motorbikes, I find, I guess same with cars as well, but you know, you'd love to be able to go to a place that sells all the different makes of bike. I know it's never going to really happen if it's a second-hand kind of motorcycle supermarket thing, but to be able to test ride different bikes back to back, and you can get off and go, yeah, do you know what, that single, I don't mind that, or that twin, you know, I like that. But I know that, you know, I really like the look of the Husqvarna Vicpilum 701, but that bike was not a bike that you could be stuck in traffic on. Whereas this, you know, turn the road, slow traffic, it all feels fine, there's not a problem, and it feels good. Wish I had a little bit more time and could have gone on the motorway with it. But again, I think it'd be fine. Let me know in the comments, I guess, if you've got maybe an MT07. It is bloody hot. But no, it's a bike that you feel confident on, and it's nice and manoeuvrable. I wonder what, see if we can, 92.7 miles per gallon. That's pretty good. So 14, averaging 66. Yeah, it's 28 out here, that's why it's sweaty. So it's a 14 litre tank. I wonder how many miles you get out of a tank. What do you reckon? 150? 170? I don't know. Probably not a massive tank, but it feels good, and I think it feels to me, I'll just stand up a little bit. Feels alright. It's a nice bike. The engine doesn't like, it lets you know it's not in the right gear, that's for sure. Like I said, I think, again, I'm not into different nuts stuff. I think you can, you know, have renuts and stuff to smooth out the throttle and stuff if you think it's a bit lumpy. I don't think it's overly lumpy. You just do notice, you know, perhaps a little bit aggressive on the lower end, but there's watch the speed there. Good as you think about the bike. We're in fourth now. Yeah, it feels great. It's nice and smooth. It's a nice riding engine. Bloody hot on my leg. It does feel like I'm doing having a clear out over there. I feel like my leg is melting a little bit. Yeah, I don't know if this has been helpful. Again, chatting away for probably an hour now, and maybe I'm just talking crap. It's not that interesting, but yeah, Yamaha's, you know, 700 engine, I think I'm going to call it. It's pretty good. Feels smooth. It's got a nice sound to it, actually. That's got a nice sound to it. The size of the bike, you know, feels very manoeuvrable. You feel like you can, you know, do what you need to do with it, and it's you feel like it's not going to do something odd. Like, it feels like it communicates well. Austin's and all the hair off your leg. What? Some people wear shorts on bikes, don't they? Can you imagine that? leg hair left. Fine for a cyclist, I guess you don't want leg hair. But yeah, nice clear display. There's, you know, you get a rough idea at a glance down what your revs are doing, but it's very clear what the speedo's doing. It's the most important thing. Very clear fuel gauge, which I think most bikes, like my Scout Boxer, has no fuel gauge. It just has a light that says, oops, probably want to get some fuel in there, and I don't like that. So I much prefer having a bike that has a fuel gauge on there, so you know what you're doing. Yeah, but I've enjoyed it. So let me know down below. Maybe you've got some other questions that I probably haven't covered. Because again, I'm not an expert biker guy. I'm not the best biker reviewer. But please let me know in the comments if you've got some questions. I'm sure I've probably experienced it, thought about it whilst going along, and just haven't verbalised it, so I can help answer in the comments. But I think people quite like doing just a ride along anyway, with someone just talking after their rear, and hopefully we'll get some relatively clear with using my road level here on there. What's he doing? What lane are you in? No. Just okay, that lane. That's one thing you realise as a motorcyclist, more and more people can't drive. I'm not saying I'm the best driver, but since getting my license, learning to ride a motorcycle, I think I'm a significantly better driver than I was. That's it, finishing up. I hope it's been helpful. Let me know in the comments below if you like these kind of videos about motorbikes. Maybe I can do some more, just in general, if I'm not looking to buy one. And hope you make more informed purchasing decisions.
Thanks for watching this video. A thumbs up would be really appreciated. If you're interested in other geek type videos, please consider subscribing to Spectrum Geeks. Why not also follow us on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. And before you leave, why don't you check out one of these other videos that may be of interest. Thanks again for watching.